When it comes to Joker and its Oscar chances, are the Academy voters being chicken or being squeamish? Surprisingly, it seems like they might be, or at least that's the way some media outlets are spinning it. It's early and you never know. I find it hard to believe that Joaquin Phoenix's performance, at least, wouldn't get him an Oscar nomination. But recent articles have cast doubt on whether he will get that nomination or the movie will be nominated for much of anything itself because it's too controversial or disturbing, which I think is ridiculous. But let's go into some of these quotes. The Hollywood Reporter listed a lot of quotes directly from people. They were, I guess, the writer, polled or interviewed. I don't think he polled, but he interviewed some Academy voters privately and anonymously put some of their thoughts about the film in this article. And I'll read some of them for you. Now, a lot of them did praise the movie, but some of them had reservations. I saw the film last night at the Landmark with another Academy member, and my stomach was still churning this morning. It made me uncomfortable from the very first frame to the last, but I thought the movie was extraordinary. I didn't read anything about it beforehand, so I thought I was going to be getting, sort of, Batman. It's the most outstanding performance I've seen in many years. The way he moved everything. Talking about Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck, aka the Joker. He's really a consummate actor, and there's not a frame he's not on camera, too. What I don't understand is what everyone's all upset about. Just pick up the morning paper and see the that's running our country if you want to worry about violence. It's still early, but I can certainly see myself nominating it for Best Picture, and he has to get nominated, or the actors branch doesn't know what it's doing. And I agree with her on that last part. Joaquin Phoenix deserves an Oscar nomination. I saw this one at the Academy. I probably wouldn't have seen it at a public theater. But now, what a movie, huh? It's hard to know where to start. Joaquin deserves an Oscar nomination. He blows the doors off the place. And the cinematography was fantastic. Even so, I sure don't want to see it again. I'm not an expert on mental health, but I'm sure there are a lot of people who will see the insane dancing after the killing as a sexy thing to do. And the worshipping of him at the end could also seem pretty cool to an insane person. As someone who was once held at gunpoint, I can't get some of the images of gun violence out of my head. I'm very torn in this movie, but I am glad I saw it. I thought it was lacking a clear vision and overwrought. This doom and gloom style has become tedious. Only Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito in 1992's Batman Returns have truly balanced dark with light. And I'm already guessing right there that this guy might be one of the older members in the industry, older people in the entertainment industry. This one didn't have a point of view on politics or class. And he's wrong because I think it said a lot about at least the class structure, the 1% versus the 99. And its depiction of mental illness was irresponsible. Joaquin was so over the top it became irritating. Todd Phillips, the director, is whom he's talking about now. Todd's song choices were so on the nose they seemed offensive and not ironic. Does he know Send in the Clowns is a romantic ballad of regret and not actually about clowns? It's a really impressive film across the board. Joaquin's performance is undeniably extraordinary. There is nothing new in terms of the craftsmanship, like how Dunkirk was shot or the sound design of First Man. But still, if you see it in an IMAX theater like I did, you can't deny how well made it is. That all being said, I don't see any reason why this movie should be out in the universe. There is nothing in it that starts a conversation, which is wrong. I think Joker's starting a lot of conversations. It just pours lighter fluid on a conversation that's staring us in the face every week. But I'm torn, as an Oscar voter, about what to do. The business it's doing is mind-blowing. Taxi Driver 2 just opened to almost 300 million worldwide. He's talking about Joker, but calling it Taxi Driver 2 here. But I don't know what's responsible to do as a voter. If art is not used to start a conversation, and it's just used to exacerbate something, I'm not sure how beneficial it is. It's too fresh to know yet what I'll do with it. I don't know if it should be banned, or it should be given every award. I love this movie. I thought the filmmaking was exceptional, certainly the most innovative superhero movie since The Dark Knight. I mean, it's great he's saying good things about the movie, but I don't agree with him that it's a superhero movie. It's gritty and real and beautiful, and I think an attempt to understand what's going on in our society right now. I haven't seen any of this season's Academy movies yet, but artistically, I think this film is stronger than many of last year's Oscar-nominated films. But forget the Academy. How many other movies in the last 10 years have successfully delivered that level of filmmaking to a mass audience? So yeah, he's saying Joker has achieved something in terms of it's a sophisticated, serious movie that's reaching a class of people in the audience of the world that normally a movie like this wouldn't reach. Good point. I did see it Saturday night at a combined Academy Guild screening at the new Time Warner Center in New York. I thought it was very intense, but I don't know why the New York Times critic Tony Scott hated it so much. I thought there was a lot of good artwork. Phoenix was amazing as the Joker, and the story was compelling. I don't know if it's a best picture, but Phoenix was amazing. I was accompanied by my two nephews, both smart young men in their 20s. They admired the film, but both said they liked 2008's The Dark Knight much more. I'm certainly not one to advocate creative censorship, but film can influence society and culture in both subtle and not so subtle ways. The focus on this film by the media as instigating violent behavior is, with that emphasis, actually encouraging or daring that kind of acting out. As for the quality of the film itself, it wasn't particularly unique in its telling of a loner who descends into psychopathy, even with Joaquin Phoenix being one of our finest actors in every role he plays. I thought it was rather brilliant, very powerful and disturbing, excellent performance by Joaquin, definitely raises the question of free speech and responsibility to society. I think the performance is outstanding, but overall the film is highly questionable morally. As a former exhibitor, I would have serious doubts about playing the film because of the message it sends. I don't think the Academy should honor a film with such controversial elements. I found the film overall to be so unpleasant that I could not vote for it. Ooh. Now, some celebrities have already said they really liked the movie and its performance. Chris Rock, they noted in this article, said on Twitter that it was incredible and a masterpiece. Michael Moore posted on Instagram that he regards it as a cinematic masterpiece. And someone who's not referenced in this article, Josh Brolin, who played Thanos in Avengers Endgame, gave a very beautiful and eloquent Instagram post defending this movie and, Joaquin Phoenix. I'll put links to all this stuff, their tweets, and this article in the description below. But I don't know, it sounds like everybody's impressed with the movie's artistry and Joaquin Phoenix's performance, but they just think that the movie is just too, I guess, well, some of them, not all of them, think that the movie is just too dangerous and visceral, I guess. Controversial is what I'm trying to vote for, which I think is ridiculous because there are more controversial and violent movies that put out by Hollywood all the time. Granted, they aren't all movies that win Oscars. Most horror movies, it's usually horror movies and thrillers that have the same level of violence or more than Joker, and those movies do not usually win or get nominated for Oscars. But even so, I mean, the point of Joker, I think, is to shine a light on mental illness and, how people with mental illness can be failed by the system that society is set up. I think there's a lot of depth, and I think that the lesson of Joker is overall a positive one. I don't think it's trying to, I don't think Joker is a negative influence on the world. In fact, I think it is supposed to inspire a lot of positive, thinking and change in people, hopefully, or make them think about things that you normally took for granted, treating each other better, better resources for people who have mental illness. And those are things about the movie that people don't really seem to be picking up on. Or at least the people being interviewed for this article and other people in the media. But I think that the things I talked about are blatantly obvious about what this movie's about. So it's strange to me that other people don't seem to be getting that. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.